Welcome to the Cardinals Squad Show. My name is Benjamin Garcia, host of the Ben Garcia Show mornings on YouTube and a credentialed Arizona sports media member. Kyler Murray plays masterful just to be let down by special teams. Should the Arizona Cardinals have went for it on their final touchdown drive?
Jamil Douglas, former NFL offensive lineman, tough loss for the Cardinals tonight. Are there any moral victories in the NFL?
Alex Clancy, Locked on Cardinals. Can you take what happened on the last two drives offensively and build it into momentum for the rest of the season? Let's get it.
Rise up, Red Sea. It's the Cardinals Squad. Everything Arizona Cardinals every week. Covering all the big hits and game-changing plays from the Valley of the Sun. The way only the Locked On Podcast Network can. Gear up and squad up. The Cardinals Squad Show starts now.
What is up? Welcome into the Cardinals Squad Show. We appreciate you guys tuning in. A post-game edition of the Arizona Cardinals falling to the Seattle Seahawks, 23-20. Wherever you may be listening, however you may be listening, thank you so much for making us a part of your day. But without further ado, Jamil, Clancy, and I are going to break down and sift through the wreckage that is the Arizona Cardinals 23-20 loss at home on Thursday Night Football. So let's immediately dive right into it. The Cardinals early in this game, just to recap it, 20-6. Offense is stagnant. Once again, Marvin Harrison Jr. looks like, I'm not even trying to be funny. Looks like at some points, I think he might be ready to cry. And he eventually snaps out of it. The offense snaps out of it. Amari DiMercado scores. The Cardinals have a chance to go for it. They decide not to. And special teams lets you down. A bad penalty at the end. The Cardinals end up losing this game to a Jason Myers field goal. Clancy, initial reactions?
The best case of a terrible situation. Like, the fact that the Cardinals had a chance to win this game shows resolve that I don't even know that they thought they had. It was terrible for the first three quarters. The defense looks top five. I mean, the defense is legitimately a weapon. And then Drew Petzing should have been left on the tarmac, so to speak, at halftime. I'm putting some of this on Kyler Murray too. Marv, yeah, he and Kyler are not on the same page. But I do think how it ended, Marv catching the touchdown pass, him looking for Marv on key downs when they needed scores late, I think that will overshadow how it started, even though it was really ugly how it started.
Yeah, ugly start. Tough loss, man. I think you got to get out of the mode of starting off so slow, man, and trying to win these games, down to the last minute. I think what we talked about earlier on in the year was Kyler being in a position to win games. And that's what, they got at the end of this game. Obviously, Seattle got back on offense and drove down and kicked a field goal. But the start of it was just too slow. And against a team like that, you can't really start slow. I mean, I was after the first drive, it was good to see them directly get the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr. on the first play of the game. I thought that would be something that we saw. But outside of that, it wasn't very promising in the first half, all the way through the third quarter, and then things picked up in the fourth. But tough loss, man. Just it's tough.
Yeah, I think Clancy said the best loss of a worst case scenario. I don't know if I agree with that. I think it might have been the worst way to lose, because the Cardinals in this game, like, it felt like we had some clarity with the offense and thinking that maybe it finally opens up. But here's where I have an issue, and I caught a little bit of flack of it on social media, and maybe I have to rethink this really quickly. The Arizona Cardinals had a chance to go up in this game, and they chose not to do it. And instead, they played conservative. And I think that has kind of been exactly what the Cardinals are. And then, people will say in the chat, oh, they lost by a field goal. That's more points. The point is that they played conservative once again. You have Seattle's defense on the back nine. They're about ready to fall over. The Arizona Cardinals offense is finally humming. You're at home. I get if you're on the road, but you score that touchdown. And then, yes, I get you're trying to pooch kick it and keep them from getting to the 30-yard line. But what are we doing? Like, just punt the ball. Like, they got aggressive with the special teams, but not with the offense. And I felt like that was kind of backwards. So I'm kind of left scratching my head here, man. I don't know if the Cardinals are a bad team or a good team, because it felt like a lot in this game, for the first time in the Jonathan Gannon, Monty Austin Ford era, they were going backwards. So I think that's my initial reaction.
I agree. I agree with kicking the field goal. I'm not going for 2 in that situation.
How come? Explain to me.
Because we've battled back. We're starting to show some life. I know I can depend on my defense because they've shown me good things the whole game, regardless of being down all game. The defense played their tails off. And so my mindset is, let's get this thing into overtime. We're showing life on offense. All it takes is one stop, and we can go win this game. So I agree with kicking the field goal. I don't agree with the pooch kick on special teams. I feel like you gave them too good a field position, whereas opposed if you tackle them within the 20, that's an extra 10, 15 yards that they have to go to try to get that field goal off.
Yeah, I mean, Chad Ryland's been great. So listen, he was a yard maybe off, like it was almost perfect. So yeah, I mean, and listen, it's the opposite. If you're on the road, if the Cardinals were in Seattle, you go for 2. If you're at home, you kick the extra point. It's not because you don't want to deal with the crowd in overtime. Like the Cardinals, that stadium was rocking, dude. Like it's, and what Jamil said is right. It's like, you trust your defense. I know that's not a sentence that we've really been able to say over the last handful of years up until the last couple. It's like, trust the D. They had to get one stop. And listen, it was a great drop in the bucket throw from Sam Darnold. Max Melton got torched today a couple times. That wouldn't have, like, when push came to shove, they missed their DBs today. They missed their corners today. But they played fine. Defense had 3 sacks. They were flying around. Yeah, but I'm not going for 2 there. I'm not going for 2.
You know what? Upon further review, I think the crowd and you guys do make a lot of sense there. I guess, all right, then I guess I can't kill them for that. But ultimately, it just felt like, I think my point stands, and I'm just not sure what to think about the Cardinals now. Like, are they the team, and I guess this is a good question to ask, are they the team that we saw in the fourth quarter of this game, or are they the first, second quarter team? Because through the first and fourth quarter of the Seattle Seahawks game, I'm sorry, the San Francisco 49ers game, they were kind of the same team that they were the first 2.5 quarters of this game against the Seahawks. So where are we at now? I don't know what we're supposed to think of this Cardinals team.
They're not a bad team, and they're not a good team. They
so
lost
right
to teams that are better than them. They're not a bad team. They're not New Orleans. They're not Cleveland. They're not, Carolina. But they're not a good team right now. Like, I can't. It's a redeeming quality that they didn't get laughed out of their own arena. That's fine. I mean, that's like a green ribbon for 7th place out of eight people. But the offense looked awful for the majority of the game. Isaiah Adams later, like the same issues. Jonah Williams, I'm starting Kelvin Beachum. I'm bringing Will Hernandez back. Like, the problems are obvious, and they look so much worse in the first 3 quarters. And then Kyler Murray looked great in the fourth, but I
thought Kyler played relatively well in the fourth quarter.
What about the whole game? What about the whole game?
I'll say this.
Because the first interception, like, I will give people, like,
and I still think that was a pick. I think that was a pick. I don't think that was a fumble at all.
No. The first interception where Kyler threw the interception. Oh, you're saying after when it fumbled.
I think that was
for me, the first interception, you saw Marv stop on his route. Like, there is that argument, but I still think that ball probably sails over Marvin and maybe not is picked off. But the second one, pretty clearly on Marvin Harrison Jr. Yeah. I don't know if you can kill Kyler for that.
Well, sorry, you know what I was thinking in terms of just watching the game. I'm wondering, we're always on here like, get Marv the ball. There's a reason Kyler goes to Trey McBride, and it's because he can trust that Trey McBride is going to fight tooth and nail for the ball. We saw the one towards the end zone that he tried to get, and Jordan Love broke it up. Like, Trey McBride is running full speed through that until the ball gets out of bounds. I don't know that Kyler trusts Marv to run his routes full speed every play, and so it's hard for him to determine whether or not he can have his timing throws. We saw him hit him on the back shoulder. That's not a timing throw. He can hit that at any point he wants. But like these breaking dig routes and the out routes and things like that, like those are routes that your quarterback, they hit their back foot and they're expecting the ball or the receiver should have the ball right in their face. So I'm wondering if it's more of like he doesn't trust him to run his routes full speed all the time, because even in the one that sailed, like Marv is 6'4". Like even if he puts a hand up, he may tip that. It may go over the safety's head. So that's something that kind of crossed my mind. Is it Marv not running his routes full speed, or is Kyler really just that much more comfortable with Trey McBride?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It's like there's a couple different types of elite wide receivers. There are ones that are smaller than everybody else, so their route running has to be pristine and they have to be absolute dogs, like Steve Smith, Tyreek Hill, guys that will just eat you. Then there are other guys who aren't fast, but they're like Keenan Allen guys who are just like, he is the dictionary definition of the best route runner we've seen in the last 20 years for a guy his size. And you got guys like that. He's a dog. And then you've got wide receivers the size of Marv who are a little bit softer, who don't share one of those attributes, and things have to be a little bit more perfect for him to show his greatness. And we saw like that over-the-shoulder throw and him toe tapping, that's not as easy as he made it look. Him going up and getting that and high pointing that touchdown ball, that was the impressive Marv that you saw in college that we didn't see 50-50 balls won by him. But even that, he didn't have to push for it. He just jumped higher than the other dude. So it's still very much TBD, but maybe that's what did it. Maybe being so embarrassed for 6 or 7 quarters really just unlocked it. We saw it with the touchdown celebration. He's like, oh, finally.
Yeah, he just needed one, man. He's that type of player, though. I do think that, and I know I spoke about the moral victory piece. I do think that him being able, I think he had 6 for 66 and a touchdown or something like that. Like, those are going to pay dividends for him. He needed to get into the end zone. That touchdown catch was not an easy catch. Like, he had to go up and get that, and that takes some confidence and some moxie to be able to come down with that. So hopefully that's something that carries over within the next couple of weeks. But the offense still has to figure out the run game. There's some things that are still kind of broken in terms of production.
Yeah, one other quick thing is like, first of all, guys like Mike Evans, that's a touchdown. It's like, it's obvious. It's automatic. Like, there are guys, the elite guys, Jamar Chase, that's a touchdown. It doesn't matter. It's not like, oh, great catch. Oh, let's praise you. That's like, oh, yeah, that's just Mike Evans. So, like, he's got a long ways to go. But the interesting point, as much as, quote unquote, they don't trust him, from what I can remember, since Marv has been an Arizona Cardinal, on the absolute most important downs of a game, he targets Marv. San Francisco last year, Miami last year, he targeted Marv on a 3rd down this year. Like, when you need to have it, he throws it to Marvin Harrison Jr., which is the crazy mind bleep of all of this.
Defensively, I don't want to let that go here as we're instantly reacting, and then we'll go to the offense, the defense, we'll go to lessons of the game. It kind of feels like the Cardinals are squandering what feels like one of the best defenses in the league. Like, Seattle was out there and looked awesome for a lot of this game because the Cardinals offense, being anemic for most of this game, combining with an elite defense, looked better than the Cardinals, but I don't think it was, really that much better at all. They continue to get pressure. Nick Rawlins continues to be a wizard defensively. Instant reacts to this Cardinals defense. Budda Baker. Listen, I know that they've got young guys out there, and Max Melton kind of caught a few licks from, Jackson Smith and Njigba, who is an absolute man amongst boys. But for the most part, for the second straight week without a lot of their guys, they looked pretty good, right?
Yeah, and to be honest, like I thought the DBs played relatively well. JSN, he's gonna get his. He did not torch this defense. He made a couple plays. The ball that Sam Darnold put on the sideline was breadbasket type of ball. So I thought the DBs played pretty well. My worry is that it doesn't match up. The offense doesn't match up fast enough to this defense. They're playing really good defense right now. And you have to wonder at some point what's going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back? Like at some point, the offense has to feed off of that, and they have to be able to play complementary football. And I'm wondering if that will happen, or will we just see this trend the rest of the season? And I hope that's not the case.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's an original story where a defense is great and an offense isn't fantastic and you can still win a bunch of games. But yeah, I mean, it is a stark contrast. It shows that the Cardinals spent the entire offseason, free agency and the draft, addressing the defense. And this is what you get. You get a really good defense. Like, is this a 4-year rebuild, or are they going to do that to offense next offseason? Like, how long are we going to drag this out? You know, that's the thing for me. It's like, I don't care that it's year 7 of Kyler Murray. I still think he's better than half the NFL. Like, people think it's either Super Bowl or bust, and people are, irrational sometimes. But, like, yeah, the defense is going to be the calling card until the offense can catch up. And I struggle to think that if James Conner was playing tonight, that it would be any different. I don't think it's any different. You're right, Jamil. They got to figure out the run game. The defense cannot just bail everybody out. I tweeted out earlier in the game as a joke, is the Cardinals' offensive game plan telling the defense to help? Like, is that what it's going to be? Because it was pretty bad. But if there's any takeaway from the fourth quarter, use Greg Dortch, use Marv, use Trey. I said Greg Dortch should be that option going into the season. I got laughed at. It's like, look at what he does that nobody else can do on this team. Maybe that's what they figured out. Maybe that's the missing piece here.
I would even say Michael Wilson showed some grit and some want to on that catch, and just
the front ground catch,
and his his celebration afterwards, like you can tell he wants to be out there. So there are some things that kind of give you a little bit of hope, but it's you just wonder, are you going to get that team that showed up in the fourth quarter? Or are you going to get the team that we've become accustomed to seeing in the beginning of the season?
Let's move on to the Cardinals offense. Let's dive deep into it. Then we'll go defensively. Marvin Harrison Jr., picked himself up late in this game, but did struggle a lot to start the game. Kyler Murray put the Superman cape on late. Which offense is it? Are we getting the fourth quarter offense the rest of the way, or are we getting more of the same early on in this game? So let's discuss. First, today's episode brought to you by our lovely friends over at 5 Hour Energy. Time to fuel up and turn it up with 5 Hour Energy Transfusion. The grape, ginger, and lime-flavored shots brings the iconic taste of a golf course favorite to a non-alcoholic boost. Perfect for sinking birdies or making great memories with friends. It's a hole-in-one for your energy game. Whether out on the course or just need a little extra push to power through your day, 5 Hour Energy Transfusion delivers the clubhouse flavor you love without even leaving the green. I was just at a, fantasy football get together just a couple of weeks ago where me and the buddies had our annual fantasy football trip and stayed up really late Friday night. And then Saturday, it turns out, we're going to go golfing in the morning, but we stayed up till like 3 a.m. What did I do? I just pounded a 5 Hour Energy. Not a big coffee guy, not really into energy drinks. 5 Hour Energy is a lot better. Not a lot of crash with that one at all. So golf is all about good times with good buddies or good people and good flavors. The grape, ginger, lime flavor to 5 Hour Energy Transfusion gives you the best parts of the clubhouse without having to leave the course or chase the Bev cart. Now you can amp up the fun even more. Just buy, snap, and enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for 2 to any golf tournament in the USA. Tee up that trip. Visit 5hewin.com for rules and entries. No purchase necessary. Includes the Masters tournament. Ends October 31st, 2025. All right, so let me tee it up like this. I am going to lean towards that the Cardinals found something tonight. I don't know if Jonathan Gannon walked into Drew Petzing's offense and asked him to be a little bit more dynamic. I don't know that we saw a lot of dynamic stuff early on in this game. I think it would be a little bit of piling on to Drew Petzing to blame him for the first, second, and third quarters. The Cardinals were going to score, it looked like, where Marvin Harrison Jr. tipped the ball out of his hands and he picked it off. That was the second interception of the night. I think Seattle's defense is just really freaking good. And so, yes, although the offense got stagnant, anemic, threw a couple of picks, I thought it looked better tonight. And I thought it finally came together in that fourth quarter where when and we saw the full kind of mini version of what this can be. If Marvin Harrison Jr. is on, and is early and getting involved. If Trey McBride continues to be Trey McBride, Trey Benson, didn't get a lot of opportunities tonight, but I think he can still pop and be someone. Kyler Murray needs to use his legs more. We can talk about that later. I think there is something you can take of this game where you feel good about this going into your next game with, I believe, is the Titans. Clancy?
How can you feel good about this with what we saw?
Not good. Better.
You said you could feel good about this.
So okay, let me stop. Let me just rephrase that then. Yeah, let me rephrase it. I feel, because what I meant was I feel better about it. And so I feel better about this Cardinals offense after watching that fourth quarter, feeling like maybe there's something more there. That's kind of my optimist take of it. But I'm sorry, I'll let you finish.
I mean, we've seen 4 good quarters of offense for the Cardinals this season. 2 against Carolina, 1 against the Saints, and then 1 tonight. 4 out of 16. That doesn't make me feel good about the offense. It makes me feel better about Marv, which is how things ended. It makes me feel better, a little bit better about Kyler with how he wasn't. I know those 2 balls were like, one was an interception. He threw that to the safety. Marv wasn't catching up on that, even if he was running full speed. And then the Marv one, yeah, that happens. Like that's not a tip ball interception. Isn't an original story. Overall, the dink and dunk was on more than we've ever seen. He had 12 completions for 67 yards at halftime. Maybe it was 13 for 70-something because that last play when the clock ran out. That's 5 yards completion, man. That ain't going to cut it. And that's not the offense that Drew Petzing is calling. I can guarantee you it's not 3 yards turnaround. That's the best. That's the most elite version of this offense. With that said, this has been 3 years, man. This isn't this year only. It's a collection of uncertainty surrounding offensive coordinator, especially, especially last year and this year. Like, it doesn't matter if you're good for 10% or 20% or 30% of the time. You got to be not bad for 75% of it. I mean, that's they were bad. That was bad. That was the worst offense I've seen this team run for 3 quarters.
But some of it is, I agree with you guys. It was not good for a lot of it, but I felt like, because Kyler did throw that ball in the middle of the field, that maybe they're looking deeper downfield. I think they, took a couple of shots like Marv in the back shoulder late in this game. Like, they went from, I think it was like 1 ball thrown with, I think it was like 20 plus air yards in the air last week to, I think there was like 4 or 5 in this game. So what I'm saying is I felt a little bit better about it, but like, I would agree with you guys. If the offense we're going to get consistently is like this game where they're bad for 3 quarters and then come to life because of some soft coverages, like, yeah, that's awful. But I thought I saw something, and maybe it's because I'm trying to believe in Kyler, because late in this game, I did think he was awesome, but
you know what it is that
it's a lot of fair points.
You know what it is that you saw?
Let's hear it.
Yeah, it's what I asked for the other day. When the Cardinals can go no huddle, it allows the defense to become more vanilla in what they're doing. And that's when we saw Kyler actually have some control over the offense and lead the offense down the field. They got to mix that in more. As far as feeling good about it, I terrible. Like I don't feel good about it at all. I'm glad we showed some life. I'm glad my number 2 receiver, who we want to be our number 1 receiver, hauled in 6 receptions on 10 targets and a touchdown. But majority of that game was stale. The run game, I'm telling you, the run game it's I don't want to say broken, but it's almost broken. Kyler had 5 carries, 41 yards. Trey Benson, to me, I thought we would see a lot more of him just using his skill set. He looked a little timid to me tonight. I don't know what it is, but 8 rushes, 35 yards. His longest one was 12 yards. This offense can't throw the ball 41 times and expect to win games down the stretch. That's not what you want out of Kyler, especially with this offensive line. I think they got credited with 5 sacks today, maybe 6, but that's not what you want. You don't want Kyler throwing the ball 41 times.
Well, so let me push back on that. I kind of rather see that than feed a run game that doesn't work. Like, this is what I mean. So I agree with the hurry up or the no huddle. I think game script and it being Trey Benson's first start had a lot to do with this. I think it's kind of a yuck. If it was Tennessee last week, I think we'd see a very different game plan for Trey Benson. They don't know what they have yet because they haven't seen it yet with him as the dude. They don't know. And I'd rather have the ball in Kyler Murray's hands exponentially more than what we've seen in different ways, where it's like, okay, their pass game is pretty much a run game at this point with how not far down the field they're throwing the ball. They'll find a marriage between the two. Like, I don't think that's going to be an issue. If Kyler Murray throws the ball 30 plus times a game, I think it gives them a better chance to win than them trying to force it 25 times on the ground.
I think if Kyler Murray throws the ball 40 times a game, you must have been down and you couldn't run the ball at some point.
Well, that's fair, but they have enough. Like, they don't have on paper in Madden, they've got a good team. Okay,
sure.
If you can figure out a way to evolve that from the crap box exercise that we've watched for the majority of the season so far, you can throw the ball more. And what that does, the way to do it is you find two more dudes that you trust and you can just throw the ball more. It's not an original story with somebody throwing the ball 40 times and winning games.
Yeah. So really quickly, I do want to continue to keep this conversation moving. We talked a lot about Marvin in the first segment, so I want to continue to hone in on Kyler because Clancy officially started his clock last week. I defended Kyler last week. I thought he was pretty masterful for what he was given. Bad play calling, conservative play calling, drops, this, that, and the other. And Clancy kind of went the opposite direction, TikTok with Kyler. I thought Kyler, again, for what he was asked to do, I'll give him the one interception that was his fault. I'll totally buy that. One interception against a really good defense. And I think my biggest thing is 20-13. You had to have it. Everyone knew you had to pass on what is, I think, a top 3 defense in the NFL, and that's being conservative. Kyler was freaking awesome. So Clancy, I do want to continue to, in my opinion, Kyler was awesome in that respect. Clancy, I'm just curious. What is your kind of final thoughts on Kyler tonight? Did he further accelerate that clock, or did he, hit the snooze button on it for a second?
We saw Kyler Murray's career in a nutshell in one game.
Damn, that's a good point.
That was it. You've got oh my God moments that are just waiting to come out. We don't know when they're going to come out, but when he's there, I've been talking about this team for a long damn time. My hairline isn't like this because they've made it easy. Don't look too much.
What's Ben's excuse?
Oh, come on, bro.
I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, what are you talking about? I was like,
that's it. This is
been a microcosm
of Kyler Murray's career. Those 4 quarters was a microcosm of it. It was when he hits those peaks, there are few that are better. And when he hits the valleys, there are many that are better. So it's just, that's what it is. This is beige for me, if we're going to color it. This is nothing speeds up, nothing slows down.
Cardinals jerseys tonight?
Yeah. I mean, it's what it is. This is Kyler Murray.
Well, I kind of thought you got the epitome of Kyler Murray in that Panthers game where he had like that insane scramble run, evaded a bunch of guys, and then immediately throws an interception to the other team. So I get exactly what you're saying. I just put a little bit more on it because it was the last possession of the game. Everyone knew you had to pass, but it's a good point. We're consistently not getting consistent play from Kyler Murray. And still, I don't know who to blame. Drew Petzing, I do think, is an incompetent buffoon when it comes to play calling. But also, if you're a top 10 quarterback, you do have to overcome that. Jamil, you want to jump in this too?
No, I don't have anything to say. I think as a former player, if I'm looking at this game, I say, dang, we moved the ball really well when we were in the 2-minute mode. Let's do more of that. Let's sprinkle that in for Kyler. It seems to help him out from a standpoint of reading defenses and just pushing the ball down the field. So I hope, and this is a big hope, I hope that they just do more of that, because I think that it allows you to open this offense. You've got enough skilled players to rotate guys in and get this done, doing a no-huddle type of deal. So that's the one big thing that I hope we see. Yeah,
I mean, and with that, on top of that, like Kyler Murray's much more comfortable and jazzed than the Waltz. Like, he's much more comfortable being offbeat and not just, it's got to be a metronome and it's got to be this and it's got to be timing and it's got to be, he's electric when you just give him the ball. And that's what I'm talking about with throwing the ball at times. Like, I'd much rather him throw the ball than see one more inside read ever on 3rd and 5 or 2nd and 9. We saw 5 of them tonight. It's like, what are we doing here, guys?
Dude, one of them was Michael Carter on 3rd and 1.
Yeah.
They gave it to their smallest running back on 3rd and 1 inside zone. They started, 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. That was asinine. We're going a little long on the offense, but I want to get this clear answer too. Did we get Marvin Harrison Jr.? Like, did Marvin snap out of it? Like, remember in the preseason long ago, Jamar Chase, like, dropped the ball and everyone kind of freaked out about it. And then he kind of got in rhythm, and then it's been history ever since. Do we think finally this was the game? Marv's going to snap out of it. Maybe he's not going to become ever this tier 1 wide receiver, but he's going to be a number 1, just in that frame, wide receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, I said that in the first segment. He's got identical numbers to his dad through 20 games. I think his dad worked out pretty well. Like, this game was meant the most for Marvin Harrison Jr. outside of everybody. This is it. With how it started, it went even worse. And then he's reached a peak right now that we haven't seen since week 2 of his rookie year, when he had 2 touchdowns against the Rams in the first quarter. This is career-altering stuff for Marvin Harrison Jr., at least incrementally getting to that way.
Yeah. Nah, I don't have anything else to say. I think, like I said, that's the moral piece of this. When you look at it as a coaching staff, hey, this guy came alive and we saw him make plays. I think the touchdown catch is the biggest sign of him coming to life, because you don't make that catch if you don't feel confident in doing it. So, I'm going to say, we're going to see a better version of him moving forward.
And if they do, that will likely open up the offense a little bit more. Let's move over to Cardinals playoff hopes. Where are those at now? I mean, they are 2-2. This was supposed to be the easy stretch of their schedule. The NFL is weird, as well as let's touch on that defense and how elite it was once again tonight, going up against Sam Darnold and company. And let's do it next. But first, today's show brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. The NFL season is here. Heck, that's what we're talking about right now. A post-game show, Cardinals-Seahawks. And FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with the can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5. And if your bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Listen, I love using FanDuel. I'm more of a lines guy because it makes you want to test my NFL knowledge just a little bit more. And like tonight, Seahawks a couple of days ago, +2, felt pretty good about that. And if you would have bet that, you likely would have, cashed your bet tonight, or you would have cashed your bet tonight. As well as if you just want to feel, pretty good about putting $5 down on a team, put that $5 down on the Bills money line at home against the New Orleans Saints this weekend. That feels like a sure thing when we know there's a risk in everything, but that, there's going to be some risk. There's some minor risk in that one. So are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. All right, let's continue moving the show on. I do want to start with the defense, and then we can kind of go into more of the Cardinals' playoff hopes, what has changed, what hasn't changed. Again, this was supposed to be the easy part of their schedule. Is it just a foregone conclusion that this is what it's going to look like all year? The defense is going to continue to dominate and keep the offense in games, and the offense is going to struggle to score 20 points, but if they do so, they've got a good chance of winning. This defense looks amazing yet again. Mac Wilson, played, got banged up, came back. Budda Baker, had that late penalty, but for all intents and purposes, I feel like you got to give this defense a B+. Clancy, what were your reactions?
I mean, they haven't played anybody good yet. I mean, they played Seattle.
So Seattle's a good team.
Yeah, besides from Seattle, they haven't played anybody good yet. So it's kind of TBD. They've got Indy on the road in week 6, who's played lights out. They've got Green Bay at home in week 7. Then they got to play the Rams twice. They got to play Seattle again. They've got some good teams that they're playing against. So it's kind of TBD. Are they the better side of the ball? Yeah. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. The offense does their job a little bit better. Maybe we're not going to see them dropping like flies on defense. Darius Robinson left the game today. Jalen Thompson was banged up a couple times, but he's a bulldog. As you said, Mac Wilson left. Like, the offense needs to help him. This isn't just like the Arizona Cardinals' best offense through 3 quarters today was drawing pass interference calls and the defense not giving up points. Like, that's not what this is. It doesn't matter how good the defense is. They're human beings. They're going to get tired if they have to continue to save the damn day every week. Like, this is not sustainable. That's the big picture. This is not sustainable by any stretch, irrespective of who they're playing.
Yeah, that's my worry as well. I think if you don't sustain drives on offense, you obviously are putting your defense out on the field a lot. And at some point, the defense is going to get a chink in their armor, and you hope that is something that your offense is there to kind of pick you up on. I thought they played well. Like I said, I mean, they've got playmakers on this Seattle Seahawks team, from running back position, wide receiver position with Kupp and JSN and, Sam Darnold slinging it. But the defense held their own, man. It was never a point where it was like, okay, like they had to earn – the Seahawks had to earn everything that they got tonight, and that's what you want out of a defense. Calais Campbell is still making plays, dinosaur. Like he's still at some point in the backfield being disruptive.
He doesn't look old at all, man.
Doesn't look old at all, but hey, we're in the 3rd game of the season. So like I said,
fourth
game
the big guy some credit.
I am giving them credit, but I do think that there has to be some ownership from the offensive standpoint to say our defense is playing their tails off. Let's go and pay them back and go on a drive here. Yeah. And, those things will pay dividend in the long run.
Oh, sorry. I thought Clancy was going to add something there. Also, Will Johnson did not play tonight. Obviously, they're still without Garrett Williams. Really quickly, isn't it all hands on deck next week when you play the Tennessee Titans? Will Johnson's they're probably going to rush him back for that game because though
they shouldn't.
Yeah, dude. Even though
they're probably going to rush him back. What do you mean?
This Cardinals team should be able to beat the Titans without Will Johnson,
dude. I don't know, man. I think this was the first night where the DBs got at least a little bit exposed. Correct?
No, the first good team that they played. Like, this is not.
They didn't get exposed.
No. You get wait a second. Let's use the word that I said before. A little bit.
Cooper Kupp had 4 for 26. JSN had 4 for 79.
Beat Max Melton. Like, I thought you saw that they missed Will Johnson a little bit, right?
No.
Well, they missed him, but that doesn't mean, hey, you're still injured, rookie. Let's have you play now.
Dude, they gave up one touchdown through the air.
God, dude,
the plan was, I would assume, that they weren't going to rush him back for tonight because it was a short week after he missed last week. Okay, so that's the obvious thing. The second one is you've got 10 days to see. He's going to rest the rest of the week, and then you're going to get to see when they roll in on Tuesday of next week, like, are you healthy? Like, this is not – the Cardinals can sustain these injuries for now, so there's no reason to rush the kid back. I mean, again, this is a groin. This is something we talked about. Jalen Johnson, they rushed him back, and he's out for the year. They didn't rush him back. I'm not a doctor, but they had him continue to play. He got hurt in the preseason. He's out for the year. Like, you can't add insult to more injury by rushing any sort of process. So to say that they're going to rush him back, first of all, it's 10 days to the next game, and also there's no way that you can they can sustain it without him.
People are getting angry at me because I just thought that they missed Will Johnson a little bit. Like, you saw the play.
I'm sure their defense is better when he's on the field, sure, but that doesn't mean you're going to rush him back against.
Well, I think if the defense is your forefront of this team, and the offense is going to continue to be conservative, anemic, all the bad conservative synonyms you want to use, I think you kind of need everyone on deck for the defensive side. I'm not blaming the defense for anything. The defense is the reason why the Cardinals almost won this game. I just feel like next week becomes a little bit more of a must-win scenario, and you kind of are, I think, inching guys back at least a little bit. Like, let me make it clear. The defense was not the issue. The DBs were not the issue. But if you're trying, I thought there was at times where JSN got the back shoulder pass and also got out of bounds. That mattered. Okay, but if you're bracketing him, yes. But what I'm saying is you need everyone on deck. Max Melton, you could have maybe shaded over the top or put 2 guys on him in that play, but you can't do that because you feel like you have to stick Max Melton there. And you got to stick other guys everywhere else.
It was 3rd and 6, and they called a go route. Okay, they went no risk it on it, and it's 1-on-1, and they made a great throw and a great catch. If that was Will Johnson, he's still catching that ball. If that was Garrett Williams, he's still catching that ball. It was a perfectly constructed play and execution. Like,
all right, I just think that this team could use everyone defensively. This is not the defense's fault, and I don't want to go down that path. And then lastly,
terrible.
Oh my god. Oh my God. You guys have no idea what it's like to be in this chair. I'm the one that's got to make it run.
You're terrible. That was terrible. What
terrible. Does that have to do with it?
He's not like I can guarantee you there's no one upstairs in that building that is saying, no, we have to get Will Johnson back on the field for next week against the Titans.
Okay. Well, when you put it that way, that's also a pretty good point.
What do you mean put it that way? You just said a sentence. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Logical.
Okay. Let's move on. All right. Bad take by me. I can eat it. Right, okay. Let's go over as I want to talk about this. Oh God, here comes another suspect thing, but it's worth asking, and that's why I want everyone to deal with this. For the first time in the Jonathan Gannon, Monty Austin-Fort tenure, are you having second thoughts? And I think this belongs in that defensive realm because Jonathan Gannon's a defensive guy. And the offense, he defended it. It was once again conservative for 3/4 of this game. Are you feeling, is there any less confidence in those 2 guys, or are you still looking at other people?
What 2 guys?
Monty Austin-Fort, Jonathan Gannon.
27-21. Are we noising now instead?
I'll go first. I mean, yeah, you go first because
the answer is no. And I don't know. Monty Austin-Fort, so now he looks like a genius because he drafted Marvin Harrison Jr. 10 minutes ago. He didn't. Wow. It's a very okay. Let's put it this way: the ones he's hit on are going to be Arizona Cardinals through his second contract. Garrett Williams, Paris Johnson Jr. Among others. Like Daedrin Taylor-Demerson's going to be there. He's a dude. Him bringing over Mac Wilson, him bringing over, because you're right before that, him bringing over ADG this offseason, he's found vets who couldn't get playing time on another team, and he's made them starters, and they've been good by and large. He drafted Marv number 4 overall because he was the highest rated wide receiver that we've seen maybe in the last 20 years since Calvin Johnson, okay? And look at what Marv did tonight. Calling for any sort of Monty Austin-Fort hatred at this point is lunacy, in my opinion. Jonathan Gannon, I tweeted out today, I'm like, listen, if Nick Rallis is calling the defense and Drew Petzing's failing calling the offense, what are you doing? What are you doing as a head coach? You're leading? What does that look like when the team looked like a lame duck for 45 minutes of game time today? So, no, if they lost 17-3 and that fourth quarter didn't happen, we may be having a different conversation. But no, they're 2-2. It's 4 games into the season. If they go 4-9 or something, we're having conversations then that may be different. But no, not now.
Yeah, I did question, because they did the whole segment on Jonathan Gannon saying that he's coming to be a leader of this team and he's not going to call the defense. He has someone that's going to call the defense, someone's going to call the offense. But at some point, I think I don't see enough of him rallying the troops on the sideline in that leadership position. Like to me, if I think about my experience with Mike Vrabel, and I know I speak highly of Mike Vrabel because Mike Vrabel didn't call the defense. He had a hand in it, but he would truly walk over to the offense before the offense is going out on the field and just kind of gauge the temperature of the guys, then go over, do the same thing on the defense. I need to see more of that from Gannon. If he doesn't want to call the defense, then be that rah-rah guy that you say you want to be. That's just my interpretation of it. But I don't think anyone's questioning them right now. I just want to see more of there was a point in the game where they showed him on the sideline or even going into halftime, and there was a couple guys walking in. I want to see you go get those guys and, hey, let's jog in the locker room, like have some upbeat to yourself. So that's the only thing I would say from a former player standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, one quick thing that, to his credit, I mean, he called this defense in Philly, and Nick Rallis was his linebacker coach. So this is a variant of that. This is British English to the U.S. English. Like, it's the same kind of thing where this is Jonathan Gannon's baby that Nick Rallis has put all different kind of chemicals in and just made it this morphed into this wild variant of an NFL defense. So, I mean, he had the foundation, but if the offense isn't working and he's not doing anything about it, Monty and he are not doing anything about it, that's a different conversation. They scored a bunch of points in the fourth quarter. Wait another week to have that conversation, I guess.
Yeah.
Final takeaways to the game, and I promise we're going to talk about that playoff thing, where our confidence is that the Cardinals could still be one of the 7 teams in the NFC that have the honor of playing in the playoffs. And we'll talk about that next. First, today's show brought to you by our friends over at Mazda, as I, struggle to find it right up here. And you can just move through your life, or you can find the things that move you. It's your choice. You can choose to get out there, choose your people. You can choose to go for it. Like, really, go for it. Just choose to do something that moves you. Mazda crafts cars for those who choose to do more than simply move. Mazda, move and be moved. All right, let's close out the show. I want to go here. Playoffs wise, the Arizona Cardinals. I think we all had them in the playoffs. I think maybe Jamil said it and then took it back because it wasn't, positive. But the Arizona Cardinals, we all kind of thought they had playoff aspirations. Where is that at now for you guys? Because through 6 weeks, and it was the easy stretch of the season with quote unquote easier quarterbacks, the Cardinals are 2-2 through 4 games. It does kind of feel like these next 2 games matter a lot, but your playoff confidence, Clancy, where are you at?
It hasn't, nothing's changed. I mean, if I would have told
Nothing?
you listen, the easy stretch of the schedule is only before games start. And then you look, did you have Daniel Jones as the best quarterback in the NFL through 3 weeks? Did you have Joe Burrow on the shelf playing as much football as me for the rest of the year when they have Cincinnati in week 17? Do you have Michael Penix almost getting benched with Atlanta where you might see Kirk Cousins in week 16? Everything changes every game. So I don't see this as the easy stretch anymore. I mean, Green Bay they acquired Michael Parsons and then lost to Cleveland when they were up 10 points with 2 minutes to go. Like, the NFL is a wonky beast, and all the Cardinals need to do is get to 10. So the losable games that we had the Cardinals down the stretch now look like winnable games with Jake Browning and maybe Kirk Cousins. So the fact that they lost 2 divisional opponents is not a reason to fly the white flag when we're not even a quarter of the way through the season yet.
Yeah, it's early. It's way too early to be talking about the playoffs. I mean, it's like when you go on to the Derby, right? And all these horses are just tied up right now. Like everyone's either 2-0, 3-0, whatever the case may be. Everyone is in the same spot. There's going to be teams that pull away. The Cowboys looked terrible versus the Bears. Like, no one had that on their bingo card. What I will say is the NFC is very interesting in terms of what we just saw from the Lions this past week. Like teams are gonna start kind of finding their way. It's way too early to talk about the playoffs, man. I just feel like 4 games in. I mean, if I told you that the Cardinals only lost 2 games this year, you'd be ecstatic. Who knows if that's the case? But it's just too early to say that I feel bad about them making the playoffs. Like, they can still win 10 games easily this year.
Oh my God. The chat is absolutely hilarious. I got my guy Dogface here who says, let's talk layoffs, not playoffs. And
4 days ago, we were undefeated.
4 days ago, we were undefeated. And then one here from my guy, Easy, who was just roasting me a second ago. Not even rainbows and sunshines thinking about playoffs.
I mean, here's the thing. The Cardinals could be 4-0 right now.
Do you think do you really, Ben, do you really have a gauge to say that you feel bad about them making the playoffs with 2 losses right now?
Whoa, wait a second. Time out. Let me sit back in my chair and say this clearly.
Please.
Yes. I feel way worse about the Cardinals' position to make the playoffs. This is a week-to-week league. It is a what have you done for me recently league. And in the span of 5 days, the Arizona Cardinals offense has fallen off a cliff outside of that fourth quarter that we just saw. It fell off a cliff.
Okay.
And this was like, I know Clancy's saying, and it is absolutely the right point. I think it's like the Patriots line of thinking of like, there's no easy games. Well, there are easier games, and this was the soft spot in your schedule. Clancy's right. Weird things can happen late in the season. But all I can evaluate right now. And in such an important season where I think we're talking about Kyler, I think if it gets really bad, but I don't want to get there, we can talk about the head coach, maybe the general manager, as well as the offensive coordinator, Drew Petzing. Like again, I don't want to single out Clancy here, but like Clancy even said too, if they come out and lay an egg offensively for most of this game or all of this game and they lose on Thursday Night Football, we could be talking about some really weird things. He said on the last show. So like, yeah, this team had aspirations to make the playoffs. And so that is my goal in mind. I'm always thinking about that. If they don't make the playoffs this year, then I think they are actively going backwards, whether that means with a new quarterback, probably not new head coach and general manager. That's kind of silly, but OC, like things can change. So temperature check. Yeah, I don't feel great about it.
There's 13 games that have to be played until then.
Sure.
Yeah, you can't have a what have you done for me lately conversation when the playoffs are 5 months away. Or whatever. It's not 5 months. That's terrible math.
Well, whatever. Yeah,
I mean, for a fact. Here's
pretty
the thing.
Close. Pretty close.
The Cardinals are not moving backwards. How much better is their roster this year than it was last year? Very simple question.
I mean, I think it's a lot better.
Okay. So how can you be moving backward if your roster is getting better? It's about adjusting. No. When it comes to something like this,
go for it.
When it comes to something like this, the Arizona Cardinals played a team who looked to be the best in the NFC West in the Seahawks. Okay. That is a fact. The Cardinals should have won last week. That is a fact. But also, the Cardinals have a much better roster than many teams in the NFL. So when you say this is the easier side of the schedule, my point was missed. My point is that we don't know what the easy games are going to be until you get to that week because every season is different. Again, Indy was supposed to be that dub. It was supposed to be Tennessee, Indy, Carolina. I'm picking Indy to win that game. If these two teams play the way they have during the first 4 weeks, I'm picking the Cardinals to beat Cincinnati because Jake Browning's a bad quarterback. Like, you can't say easy or not. You have to be ready to get better every week and win games you're supposed to win. The Cardinals have won 2 games they're supposed to win out of the 3. They had no business winning this game. So I'm not counting this because of how bad they played in the first 3 quarters. Yeah,
somebody said in the chat, do we look like a playoff team, Jamil? No, not right now. That's just the facts about it. Like until the offense shows some consistency, I can't say that this team looks like a playoff team. But again, it's week 4. Like, we didn't look like a playoff team the year that we got the number 1 seed in Tennessee. Dog, we were 2-4 through the first 6 weeks of the season, and the sky was caving in the building. I kid you not. And we walked in one day, and I know you laughed about my horse analogy. Mike Vrabel showed us a video of horses racing, and as the horses were racing, each horse had a record on it. There were like 8 other teams that were 2-4 that year. He said at least half of these teams are going to end the year with the over 500 record, and maybe 2 of these teams are going to the playoffs. We end up being the 1 seed to go to the playoffs and playing the AFC Championship. Like, you can't tell me that a team that's 2-2, you can say, nah, they're not going to the playoffs, because I was 2-4 at one point.
Yeah.
I just so we're clear, because I didn't twist my words this time. I said, no, I don't feel good about it right now. I'm not saying they won't be, but no, I don't feel good about it. Actually, you know what? As of right now, like if we're saying, do they look like a playoff team? Like, no, they don't.
Right.
And if they continue playing like this,
just said that.
No. I'm answering it for myself. I know you said that. It literally said Jamil. I'm saying I'm answering it for myself. Like, I don't think they're a playoff team right now. And so I just think it's a little, I don't know, like burying the lead because we all picked this team to make the playoffs. We all said a successful, not Clancy, to be fair. Clancy did say if they, go 10-7, they miss the playoffs on a field goal, like that could happen and it's not their fault and whatever. And that could be a successful season too. But for large part, like I would say 70% of people would say that a successful season is getting to the playoffs. And right now they don't look like a playoff team. So that's why I bring it up. And so I rest my case there.
I mean, it's just looking at record. They're not 1-3. They're not 0-4. Statistically speaking, they would be fighting up against the current for the remainder of the season. 2-2, everybody's in the game, man. Like this is not, you got to get to 10. You got to get to 10. And yeah, they showed fight. Like if they lost 24-3, like it could have been so much worse if that fumble got overturned because it really wasn't a fumble. That dude was sliding and got hit by his own player. Like that means the Cardinals wipe off those 3 points. Seattle has the ball driving on a short field. Like this could have been 30-0. Like the fact that they scored 2 touchdowns was nice. It was great for Marv. It really doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. Like they don't look like a playoff team now, and having a playoff conversation right now is ridiculous because even if they were 4-0, it doesn't matter. It looks like a playoff team. Cool. We're not even halfway through the season yet. We're not even to the bye week yet. Like so many things are going to happen, good and bad, between now and then. You can't even formulate an argument.
No.
Finally, quickly, lessons of the game. Clancy, I'll let you go first. Is there something you took away most out of anything else?
Marv's going to be fine. I think that's it. I mean, the one thing that we didn't know going into tonight is the question about Marv. Like, people were whatever the opposite of crowning him is. That was all social media. Something wrong with Marv, bench him, whatever it is. The dude showed resolve under the bright lights. I'm like, yeah, he's supposed to be doing this the entire time. He's 23 years old. He's got the weight of his shoulders with his dad, and then having to be the next Fitz by irrational sports fans. He's going to be fine.
Just really quickly, define fine. Like you think like he's going to be that bona fide one guy, or do you think
this is all part of the process? He's going to be fine. Whatever that means for an elite wide receiver, he's going to be fine.
Okay. Just wanted to define it even more. Jamil?
Yeah, my takeaways, got to get the run game going. Got to figure that out. And I know I'm going to stand on this hill right now. I truly believe that going up tempo with this offense will bring some production. So hopefully we get to see that a little more, and I hope they stick to that.
Just finally, my takeaway is that this defensive back room was awful. The defense was bad, and they need Will Johnson. I'm just kidding.
I was about to say, bro.
I'm just poking a little fun at myself is all. Relax. I think I'm really concerned that we still don't know what Kyler Murray is through 4 weeks. And I know that will come at some point, or at least I hope it will. But I thought I would have a lean one way or the other. And, for the first time, for better or for worse, it feels like I'm sitting on a fence here. We just still don't know who Kyler is. And maybe we do know. And Clancy pointed it out earlier. He's going to do this, and then he's going to immediately do this. And I see the arguing in the chat as well, like what interceptions were his fault, what weren't. But I think the most important thing of this year is like we got to make a decision. I don't want to walk into year 8 thinking, I don't know if he's the guy. But that's where I'll go really quickly. Cardinals got, like we do every week, Cardinals got the Titans next week, I believe at home. Real quick analysis of that game. You feel good the Cardinals should win that game, Clancy?
I don't know at this point. So many things. I don't know who's going to play. I mean, if they don't beat that team, then we're going to have bigger issues. So
for sure. Yeah, we got 10 days.
Who in that game, Jamil?
Miami Dolphins. Root for the Dolphins.
I don't know anyone over at the Titans anymore. So
against them.
I'm not tied to the Titans. But I do want to see the Cardinals get a win, because I do think if they don't get a win in this game, The Titans are in disarray right now. They're switching play callers. They're trying to figure out something that works. Their operation is terrible. They're getting pre-snap penalties, all type of things. That's just the reality. I'm sorry. I'm just telling you the truth.
What's worse, them or the Dolphins?
The Dolphins are broken. The Dolphins are broken.
You can't use the Dolphins joke right after I did. We got to come on, man.
They're broken. But listen, the Cardinals.
Give me a break.
The Cardinals should win this game. Flat out. Like, I don't care if Will Johnson plays or not. The Cardinals should win this game. They've got enough. So let's get it.
Yeah. If the Cardinals have Will Johnson, they'll win that game.
Even if they don't, they should.
Just kidding.
Okay.
All right. Well, hey, we appreciate you guys being here. Normally I would shout out everyone in the chat, but there is a lot of you guys here. But we appreciate you guys being here. Just so for all of you that know, the 95 of you that are still here, we are live Wednesdays at 6 p.m. And then whatever day game day is, normally Sundays, we are live post game after those. Once Clancy does his little spiel, we'll go live after him. So about 20 minutes after the game, we'll be live. We appreciate all you guys being in here. Without you guys, this stuff is not made possible. Cardinals are 2-2, but hey, Titans coming up, Colts coming up. Let's see if this team can be able to right the ship a little bit, get back on track, maybe be 4-2 at the end of this 6-week benchmark. But with that being said, for my guy Jamil Douglas, for my guy Alex Clancy, for myself, Benjamin Garcia, we appreciate you guys being here, and it's been the Locked On Cardinals Squad Show.